the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Other than, I don't know, I think it should go under old business. I'd just like to give an update on something.
F.
Yeah.
But adding
What?
all right, I'm not important, Tom.
Yeah, you just bolted it out the last
He
second.
just does the VP thing over there and just takes control, doesn't he?
Do you need to add something?
Yeah, well, let's talk about when we're gonna do that park tour. That never got done because it was raining all the time.
And today too.
I wasn't sure if we were gonna go show up at 6.
When's the next meeting in July?
I think we should just say we have something to do at 6 PM, show up and not say what it is, because I think we're cursing it. It rains every time.
Almost, yeah.
July 17th then, the next meeting
Yeah.
at 6?
Well,
Don't say the time.
you know what? That's the last meeting we're gonna have before the Fun Fest too.
Yep. It's all under control.
You're in good, instead of good hands with Allstate, you're in good hands with Mary.
I know that, She's taking control.
Kayla and me.
Letter E.
Other business?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who wants to make a motion to accept the agenda?
Make the motion to accept the agenda with the addition.
I'll second it.
Aye.
Opposed?
Carried. Okay. Is there any additions, corrections to the minutes from May 15th?
They forgot my name on present. They got you absent, but they don't have me as present. Not that I care, but just me.
I would suggest Miss Chairwoman, person, right? Gotta be chairperson now?
Yeah.
That we take 2 minutes to look over our minutes from last time. Is he still gonna be here? No.
It's just the pumper out, or the tanker, I mean.
Was, I don't know, looks good.
I'm just waiting to pull out my ladder truck. Yeah, it should be in the horn.
I said they could make money.
I know there's gonna be use for that.
Truck out to help people put up their Christmas lights.
Liability.
Yeah, that's probably the big issue.
Yeah, let everybody see it. Well,
He said they're gonna get stickers that says Tom's Truck.
That would be a good place.
Like salt in the wound.
Yeah.
Unreal. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda from last.
Meeting minutes, right?
Minutes.
the minutes. Correct? Okay.
I'll second.
Favor?
All right,
Oh, approve the minutes with the one change, correct? Yeah.
Changes that, Rosemary?
They forgot my name. That's
She was
okay.
present, they didn't have her on there, so.
That was because you came in like 5 minutes before we were.
She was gone, yeah.
Want to be called Rose?
No, you can call me Rosie.
Rosie?
Yep. My dad named me. One name, Rosemary, so you can call me Rosie.
If I didn't offend you by saying the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no plats, right? Nothing tabled.
No,
New business. Restrooms at Young Park.
yeah, so for that, we got them last,
The permanent ones.
We got the
Oh,
used
yes.
ones or new ones? Or
we got two there at Young now.
Where-
Because,
a handicap one and a regular one, correct?
yeah,
But
Oh,
those,
you-
those aren't permanent.
no,
This says permanent.
yeah. So refresh me here, is this the ones that they want, because these guys like adding stuff to the agenda for the
No, this
parks.
is from you.
Me,
Yeah, city.
Weren't we gonna, we were gonna buy some,
Brought the portable restrooms to city council.
yeah?
They talked about the feasibility of
Oh,
having
thanks.
oh, that permanent, yeah, structure, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what they're asking. So we want to know, you know, I know we discussed this at last meeting, but they're looking at, you know, like bathrooms out there, like we discussed.
Permanent.
Yeah, and it was like, I told them, you know, it's not cheap out there, but they want us to look at and I know you brought some good points up, but from one of your, where you,
Benton Beach. yeah.
Yep. So that's where it's at. So do you want permanent restrooms out there? Or just keep the porta potties? We own them. We currently have 2 of them out there that are portable. So,
And we have people that come and clean them.
yes, once a week at Young Park, and then the other one, is every other week. Less use.
What were
Right.
the objections to a permanent one?
Well, a permanent one, you're gonna have upkeep still,
Yep.
a different type of upkeep with winterization. And you get to worry about plumbing, and then worrying about vandalism in the winter.
Having a septic.
And then you have to have a septic, which can run you 30 to 50 grand, depending on how far you have to go, et cetera.
I think, we ought to compare the two, we owning our own and renting them and see how the price is. Is it cheaper to keep on renting or is it cheaper?
Lester, we're thinking about like a brick building, like a permanent one.
Well, that still costs money to run it though.
Yeah.
It still does. I mean, neither way we go is gonna be zero. If we build a building, we're still looking at the cost of the building.
Yep,
Then we're looking at, we have to have it handicap accessible with a handicap stall and all that goes with it. And then we, you know,
Septic.
septic, which is
Plumbing.
not cheap. Plumbing,
And if they
probably
vandalize,
a well.
And if they flush yucky stuff?
if they vandalize it, it's gonna be way added cost
And
too.
if they flush whatever down the toilet that shouldn't be flushed, you're gonna have
Diapers.
that bill.
well, I got some of those permanent ones over by Blue Hill there, Blue Mountain. You got one in the hunting area, and you got one in that, people walk up that
trails.
big hill there.
Yeah, they,
How that thing is maintained and what that costs them.
so could we talk to Blue Hill, somebody at the township there and see how they,
I think
That's probably the county.
or that's a county?
That's the
Yeah.
county.
County.
Pretty close to the wetlands too, so it would have to be a mound system.
It's,
You know, I went to a dog park, and, you know, you don't want to go to a dog park, you just don't. But anyway, this dog park had these bathrooms. They were side by side, men and women, and they had a toilet in there with a roll of toilet paper. And so when that thing got full, you just hired somebody to come out and suck it out. I think there was one of them big plastic tanks buried in the ground. You know, a lot of these older homes, like up north at these lakes, that's what they do. They just, everything goes into a tank, and then the guy comes and sucks it out once a month.
And he cleans it, well, he cleans it and sucks the stuff out too? I mean, who maintains it?
It's so simple. You know, I think they're metal toilets.
well, then once they got out there by Blue Mountain, they go way back about 50 years. I remember them years ago, that they sat by themselves. I don't know, I didn't pay any attention to how they maintained them at that time, so.
So that, you know, I'm wondering if that, if the DNR would approve that, you know, because I suppose there's still the risk of that tank cracking down the road.
We had one up in Becker County, and they made us get rid of it when we bought the property because of cracking concerns. Because they can develop slow leaks that you don't necessarily see at the surface, but it's contaminating the groundwater. So we'd have that concern too. I mean, I guess there's probably no good answer, but I do think we should involve, if we're gonna really proceed with this, the county and the DNR.
Yeah, we can get the county estimates of what it would cost. I mean, you know, I haven't been out to the refuge in a while, Blue Hill, so maybe just check them out, but just come back, you know, do some investigation, come back probably, I would say after the Fun Fest.
What did Sherburne Refuge do?
Well, they got some out there too off County Road.
I can tell you whether some are really close.
The
The
walking,
old schoolhouse, and that goes back to the Middle Forties, because that's where I went to school. That's where they've got them. If you go by there, you'll see the little chimneys sticking out of the roofs.
Because
One to the front is the boys, and the one to the north or the south, there's the girls. So.
Tom, you just see the usage of that park going up and up, correct? With the ball field and, I mean, the shelter being used for picnics and events.
It is going up, the parking lots, 2 or 3 nights out of the week are full.
You go by there any night, and it's usually busy.
Yeah. So I mean, I can see it, but just want to look at the cost so I can, you know, allocate the funds.
Yep.
we get some kind of plumbing and construction bids in there. I'm guessing at low, probably 50K.
Boy, real low.
Yeah, with the septic.
I'd say more like 75 to 90 was the septic.
And then, you know, do you have running water in there?
Got that too?
I know this is a dumb question maybe, but there's no grants you can get for it or anything? There's no funding available for bathrooms for parks or?
Maybe the ADA? Handicap
You can
part.
look into it,
On there, so,
because right now, our park budget's 90,000 a year.
boy, that would wipe it out almost if we got a,
Yeah, and then if you
Even
want,
more
and
than-
if you want to do the parking lots, because that's everyone's goal, to expand the parking lot at Young Park and get Goose Lake done, that's something to consider too. Plus, the board decided because there is too many factors, we're gonna pull out of the DNR grant. Because of, the crushed granite trails that we're gonna redo, there's just too much, political red tape there for, that's wanted in that, what they want. So, you know, we got budget this, I mean, cause that, like you said, it could just wipe out the whole
I think it would.
fund.
Pretty
So,
close.
Well, just the well's gonna be 8.
well, we got a well out there.
or would it be better to do increments, you know? Do, maybe just plan for increments, you know, going along and not just, you know, I mean, we're a new city, I mean, we can't slap everything together,
Yeah.
you know, right off the bat.
We do some research and get back for, I would probably put this, cause July, we're gonna be out and we're gonna talk, we gotta talk about, you know, Fun Fest, make sure everything's, Mary's got everything what she needs. So probably the August meeting, that'll give us, you know, 2 months to go out and,
Maybe it should be brought up to Tom or to Mr. Holmes. Because, you know, does that fall into the sandlot category? To have running water out there in the bathroom?
you can talk
There
to
is
them.
running water out there, isn't it?
Yeah, you can talk to them. This is a sprinkler system.
Oh, because of it's family deal, okay.
Yep.
Well, and personally, this, as somebody who's had Fun Fest there and relocated Fun Fest this year, I think we have to look at the parking too, real quickly.
Oh, yeah.
That we did,
Almost
there was,
before the indoor
Yeah.
plumbing or bathrooms, because if we don't have the parking, how can we keep building it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real concern for people.
yeah, I think
And
we
the liability to us.
Yeah, we got,
did on the parking. Yeah, parking expansion right here for,
Yeah.
yeah, I can elaborate on that, so we can, if everybody's good there.
Proposed fence at Lake Helene Public Access.
Yeah, so, this one, you know, some of you don't know where that is, but we do go, it's part of, lake access, public access that the Public Works Department mows and maintains. So they were proposing, we got split rail fence, to put split rail fence, so people know where the boundaries are, cause some people, there's, you know, both sides there can go on the residence property without knowing it, you know, you got like a stake, like a T-post out there. So they're just thinking of, putting it out there to make it look a little bit, you know, more noticeable where the property lines are. And, you know, split rail fence, you know, looks pretty good. We have it along County Road 38 on Young Park there, you know, so.
so the, like Zach and Phil would take care of that and the maintenance?
Yes, yep.
And the money would not be that much, I mean, for,
No, I think we got the material, we got, they have some of the material, so it's low cost.
What do you want, a fence between private property?
Yeah, yep.
Lake Helene, which one is that? No, that's,
Over off, 87.
That's just basically the road.
Yeah. Yep.
So you want to put the fence between that road and the neighbor there?
No, and the access is right here. You can see there's a post there.
you mean between that and Goose? And
Yeah,
Goose
just put
Lake?
just put the fence so the two homeowners on the opposite sides, they can distinguish where the property is.
With the south side,
Yeah,
that way you go into Goose Lake.
yep,
There's an iron post there, but you should
Yeah.
have a regular fence there.
Yeah, distinguish it, so people don't go on the other homeowner's property.
Well, it's a long ways to back your boat. Can
Oh,
you,
no, you can't do a boat there.
too
It's
shallow?
just canoe, yes, yeah. It's just, yeah, there's no boat access there. This is talking like canoe or, small like duck boat or something like that.
So we need to make a motion for that, or it's already what?
Well, he's got it on here, I don't know how much, is that what he said, 600?
What do you wanna do, build a fence all the way to the lake?
Well, I'm sure he can't go all the way, like, there'll probably be a little setback there, so.
I mean, from the road to the,
Well, I think I think the road's fine, cause you got.
well, there is no house built right here yet.
No, but you got woods there,
Yeah.
so I think he's just talking like right
Just a
here.
short fence.
Yeah, yep. So he said 600?
Yeah, I said
So I make a motion to approve $600 for a fence for Lake Helene to show where the property lines are.
I'll second it.
Yeah,
hey,
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, old business, Scott Schmidt.
Oh, park tour, did you put that out, or is that under other business? Is that under
What?
other? Is park tour under other business?
Yeah, that's, I
Okay, I'm
put it
sorry.
under, yeah,
Okay,
so-
so my apologies.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of board. Scott Schmidt, 14215 285th. I think the last time I seen Lonnie was probably in February when we were working on this project before.
Yeah, you were decked out in orange.
It was great that some of you were able to come out and take a look at where we were at. I would invite you to come back out and take a look now because it's not froze anymore and it's quite soft. Before we start in with that though, we got some of the neighbors there too, but the Lake Association is selling raffle tickets to raise money for doing the lake. So if anybody want to buy a ticket tonight.
I didn't really bring them.
I brought mine, so I brought mine. So they're $20 a shot, so just, I have to put that out there, because whenever I get a shot, if anybody's interested.
Got like 50 extra.
what do you-
And Tony, what's the grand prize on it?
$17.50.
$20 a ticket. So,
And there's only 250 tickets.
yes.
Good chance.
So it's a good chance anyhow, and a portion of that money does go to the lake to do that. So I thought I'd better throw it in while I had a shot here, a little bit of an audience, right?
It's not bad.
So, and I'm glad that, we're talking about the area that we had talked about down at the city owns the acre and a half down there where the boat landing is. And these guys are property owners that live right there too. John Thomas Clark, I don't think that he was in any shape to be here. Yeah, he's a super nice guy. I met with him last Friday and we had a couple conversations last week too. We're still a long ways away from accomplishing anything there, but, I just want to give you an update on what our progress was. I did meet with DNR on Tuesday. And of course, they were unaware that Teresa did a great job last time with the city council as far as our riparian problem with not having lake shore. And the city council saying they would sell us that portion that we needed for that. So that's another step forward. I did meet with, I said DNR on Tuesday, because I want to do a test hole. Because our current borings that we've done out there, I've been told by a lot of the older guys that we would hit raw sand at about 4.5 feet. And that's about where it gets pretty tight, but we want to dig a test hole first. And James Bedell, who's a hydrologist, he said that he will give me a letter stating that we can do a test hole. I want to do a 6x12 or like a grave site type hole. And he was fine with that, just as long as I filled it back in when we were done. So that's the next spot from there. Tomorrow I'm meeting with a designer for the boat landing area, which, I'm kind of jumping ahead for you guys, at least getting some ideas, and maybe Teresa did a facsimile one, which is in there. It's just kind of a design drawing. The biggest concern for that, for us, no different than the adjoining owners over here, is how do you maintain the traffic, because the road is narrow enough the way it is, and there's not enough parking there and everything else. So this is nothing that's gonna happen very quickly. It's gonna be a long process. I would anticipate that by the time we get our testimonies and everything else, we're lucky if we'll be submitting this fall for a permit to do any digging. Optimistically, we'd like to do it in the winter time to clean out the rest of the area there. But that's subject to approval from the DNR and then purchasing property and a number of these other things. But I wanted to keep you up to date what was going on, that we're not doing anything, that there's a process to it and it does take time. And I want to answer any questions that you had. And from my standpoint right now, what we're trying to do is coordinate with the neighbors and get our testimonies for our permit and everything else as far as us being able to extract the sediment that's in there. And
Is that what you call the dredging or?
yes, it's
okay.
mostly sediment, and actually it's more of a bog than anything else. When James was out there on Tuesday, he said that there was cattails out there. He says, so that's pretty evidence of water. And when he was standing where we were at, which was on those pallets that I have laid out there, he was gonna walk out there, and I'm like, no, you don't wanna do that. And, even the neighbor, Steve, who owns it with me, he says, I would advise it either, cause he had done it before. And finally, he said, nope, he stepped out a couple of feet where one of the bogs were, and I said, you step off of that, and you're gonna go right up to your chest in mud. And we had shown him where our bores were, what we had done already with that, and how it was soupy, and every time we've dug down, it's filled back up, so. We were hoping that this spring, that the water level in the lake usually rises quite a bit from the spring thaw, but of course we didn't have the moistures. So of course, the lake did not get, usually gets about a foot higher than what it is right now. Instead of the 950 and a half, it gets to about 951 and a half. We did have some conversations about, we're told that sometime in the 50s that there was the dam was lowered a foot. Because it's supposed to be 951 is supposed to be the official high water mark, and right now the lake's at like 950.6. So we're trying to find some more evidence of that maybe that might have been part of our problem with that in there. The recurring story always is that there was houseboats in there, maybe Lester, but we were always told there was houseboats in there and everything else, and when they lowered the dam, that's when there was all sorts of problems.
Lester, do you remember that, lowering the dam, houseboats?
Did that ever happen or anything?
Oh, that goes way back for me.
Okay,
For you?
Houseboats on Elk Lake?
the little ones, yeah, or even boats period in the lagoon. Okay,
Okay.
so
The
go.
town historian, by the way.
Yeah,
I love it.
we were told to go over to Becker Township, evidently, they've got some things to look at, and then I've had other people send me stuff too, so. In the conversation with Mr. Bedell, or the conversations, I should say, is that, he wants to have empirical evidence that was a waterway at one time. Of course, my argument is back is that, well, show me it wasn't. And the other part of it is that we've got the aerial shots from pretty much from 46 on, and it shows it exactly the same as it is right now. Part of the evidence for me is there's no large trees, which we had pointed out yet on Tuesday with them, is that if there would have been some dry land there, you would have had some trees bigger than an inch and a half diameter. I was rather shocked when we did the clearing, which you guys have all seen the difference, how much better it looks since we cut everything down, that there was not any mattresses in there, no cars or tires, or I was rather shocked that we didn't run across, and it's, well, maybe it got dig down. But, and how level everything was there, that there was not any huge humps or anything like that, so. But I thought at least I'd come and give you a little bit of an update of what was going on, where we're going from there, and the next step, we're gonna be probably talking to city council about having the surveyor do the deed calls for that piece that we need, so we have the riparian property that the DNR wants us to have.
So do you feel like you're getting cooperation from the DNR or do
Not
you?
willingly.
So it's a battle?
Uphill battle.
This is not the first time that Mr. Bedell and I have, it took me 6 years to get the permit to do the cutting.
Okay, yeah.
So it kind of gives you an idea. The previous hydraulist, Roger Scannell, super good guy. You know, we did the lagoon over in 2013. Him and Bill Brodner, I think.
Bill Brodner, yeah.
They were, he was with the soils, and boy, 6 months we had everything going. So I don't anticipate that being.
Maybe he'll get relocated, who knows?
He's getting a little more used to it every time he's been out. Because he keeps saying the same thing, and I keep saying, well, but this, and they're not real forthright with some of the information they have, which I think they could be more helpful, but other than the local government here, what else do we expect from, state and federal? They're never helpful on anything. But the whole gist of it is, again, is that we're not asking for any money, or we're not trying to hit anybody up or anything. I am working on getting the bids for those hog slats for the boat landing that would be cracked, that we can probably be just transportation. That's what I'm thinking. So a lot of things going on, just it's gonna take time and everything
Are you
else.
getting anybody using that out there? Is people coming there
I
yet?
don't think so. I don't think anybody uses that.
No, I mean, ultimately, the floor is somewhat open. My name is Todd Jackson, and my father and family have owned the property adjacent to this landing.
Right across.
Since 1958. So.
Oh, wow.
Ultimately, my father is a very good historian of the area. He doesn't recall any houseboats or boats in that back area. He recalls usually being a marsh.
Water, yeah.
Water, marshy
Standing
with
water.
brush, so, and I think it's just important to note that we have been there next to this landing. It's been, we'll call it neglected.
Well, it's never used or never put in to begin with either, was it?
Well, it's been there. People use it. There is a boat. People use it for canoes. People use it for that.
Canoes and
However,
kayaks.
throughout those years, we've been so close in proximity, seen a lot of misuse of that landing as well, because it is not used. It's at a dead end, littering,
Yep.
loitering,
Partying?
drug use, partying, music. That can happen anywhere, but, I'm definitely not excited for a lot of big changes at that landing, so I wanna make it clear that I'm not in cooperation to the idea of expanding a lot of that work. I think that there's a lot of, 2 blocks away, there's a great public access that also has been neglected. The landing doesn't, it needs attention, but the demand isn't there. I think there's a lot of more important projects for the lake as a whole that could help with all residents instead of a smaller group of residents. And, between water quality, aquatic weed control, that could definitely bring more visitors to the lake and to the city as a whole.
Do you guys have a lake association?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what the $20 is for, if you wanna buy a ticket.
I have to be the vice president
Oh,
of the
okay.
association. Tony here is a board member as well.
So am I.
And it's good that they're here. The big concern that, we're not anywhere near this yet,
We got the curb and gutter in.
but, well, that's in a different spot, that's
I
another.
know.
The biggest concern is if we do anything down there, and for those homeowners too, is that there's always been a parking problem no matter where you're at in the lake. I mean, currently, I did the dimensions on the one, I just looked it up before I came, and the current boat landing, which is over on the other side, the one everybody uses, is like 1.4 acres with that whole strip there. Not a very big area, and there's probably maybe, 7 spots you can go in there? So realistically, around the whole lake, we really don't have, a 60-plus place where you
Got
can
that
park.
piece of land, God, who's the guy, by the rain garden?
By Bob?
That's literally like a block and a half from where we're.
So we own that land on the corner.
Right,
So
but
we're
that's,
trying to
that's
see
still
what-
pretty tough,
Yeah, it is.
Because it's basically 100 feet by 75 feet deep roughly.
But
Bob
there's
wanted,
no demand there on a regular basis either. Like, it's there, but.
Yeah, we're
there's
thinking
no-
either to landscape that or try to do like a turnaround for the boat. Yeah,
and
something in there.
Todd, to counter that point,
Yep.
is that there's no demand because it's not usable.
Well, and this one here doesn't seem like it would be either.
Yeah.
And
And
that's,
I don't disagree with that, but we have the opportunity to do something better there
the
than
hard
what's
part for me
currently.
is that it's a 350-acre lake that we have 3 places to access right now. Do we need 4?
They're all on the same side of the
And
lake.
they're all in the same.
There's technically supposed to be 2 more,
Sure.
yeah. on the
Right,
plans.
and again, that's kind of more furthers my point. Do we need more?
Yeah,
I
fortunately,
I know
they
that if I
curtailed
go
all
up
the
north on
government.
any of those lakes, it's sometimes a 10 to 15 mile, 20 mile drive to get to
Yeah.
the nearest access. and they
Those
have 4 or 5.
those are considered platted accesses. All of them on the lake are considered platted access, and they really were put in there for the non-riparian property owners. Because a few years back, we tried to have the one over on the north side there where the lagoon is. Remember the 2 owners were wanted to vacate, that was when Brad Schumacher was the chairman.
Yeah.
And they wanted to vacate the road, and I had to go back and explain to them that you don't have the right to it because it says right in the plat that it's platted access for non-riparian owners, which is probably the same thing here. So that people who don't have shoreline do have access to the lake. And that the city at that time or the township did not have the right because it says right on the plat, forever, which means, and then the other part is that it should be cleaned up because we talk about, a lot of them were put in. When I talk to, these older surveyors, Anthony Malcolm, I always bring up his wife all the time because I had the pleasure of at least talking to her, that was about 20-some years ago plus. And they did the ones over in Hunter Lake. And when I asked her about these platted accesses, she said, well, we did it so that the non-riparian people would have access to the lake, which was very important because she said, otherwise, how do they get their boat in and out or anything like that?
Makes sense.
Yep, and then the other part she said is that for fire. She said, a lot of you don't realize is that, let's say the tanker truck that just pulled up over here needs to load up, well, they can back right up to the lake on one of those and do it real quickly, easily, without any problem, because we don't have any fire hydrants. Now, we hope that none of that happens, but that was the issue with the one on the north side, is that there's two of them over there, and we said, well, and then I can remember, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, that he lives offshore there, and of course, he's no longer able to do it, but he said, when I bought out here 30, 40 years ago, he said, I had my fishing boat tied up down there. No different than the one that sits across from one further down here too, that's not an access boat, but there's about an acre down there. There's a little dock out there, and there's a few people that put their boats down there. And those, again, that was platted access for non-riparian owners, for them that use it. So, now, is there a design that could be better? Absolutely, but we're a long ways away from that. Right now, all I'm working with is trying to get access to the lake through that lagoon. And your concerns are valid, we
Yeah.
don't, I mean, we have a parking problem there now the way it is, because there's,
Not really, because nobody.
well, nobody
wants to
comes
go
down,
to any of them.
nobody comes down, but
So,
in
either
any of
way.
these roads around here, that even the Rain Park one, that we have a few people that come down there, and and the roads are only 20 feet wide the way it is, so that creates a problem.
I guess the question I have is, what are you proposing? You got an acre and a half, is that what Baldwin owns it?
Yeah,
Half of that's lake.
we're just trying to clean the area up right now, yeah.
Well, half of it's literally lake on the Beacon Schneider map, so you can't do anything with that. So now you're down to 3/4 of an acre.
Well, you can, there is ways of doing
The
that.
DNR is gonna let you fill in the lake?
There is ways of doing it, if
Okay.
you do 2-to-1 exchanges and things like that, but we're not at that point yet. If you ask the DNR, they'll never let you do anything. They're interested, their whole theory on everything is we want everything that was 1860. And my theory is, my ancestors didn't come to this
We only
country.
want to use 1960 as our basis.
I understand that, but the idea is we have an opportunity to make something better than what it has been and what it was. And that was the whole idea, is that if you look at the original plat that was put on there, the guy stamped beach right on there. And so he must have saw something there that none of the rest of us had saw. And I know there's people who aren't gonna like it, but since the township already owns the property, if I'm gonna do this work over there.
0.5 or something?
Yeah, it's a little over, 1.4. So it's, essentially, the whole piece is the same size as the other landing. And the other one is not good for you launching a boat. Not saying it's gonna be perfect or anything like that, but if you have the opportunity to do something and it doesn't cost you anything, and that's where I offered that if I'm gonna have the excavator out there, it wouldn't take more than an hour for them to clean up that boat landing for you. Not saying that
And
anybody's.
cleanup is, one thing, I think adding turnarounds and everything else, that becomes something much bigger.
Yeah, but
than
we're not
cleanup.
even, we're not even at that spot
Right,
yet.
but there's a design, so I'm here tonight just to make sure that the board is aware that there is opposition, that
Yeah.
this doesn't necessarily sound like a neighborhood support issue. So.
Well, on your side, I mean, I could bring 20 people in too, Don. so it doesn't make
Oh,
any
no,
difference.
I agree,
Yeah.
and I wanted the board to have both
Right,
sides.
because we've got 12 owners in that lagoon there, and I don't know, 6 of them have paid to have their properties brush cut. And other ones we couldn't get a hold of, or other ones wouldn't answer a door, and other ones were, like the ones that in Andy and Brian's old house on the other side, they
Yeah.
own like 200 and some feet, they don't care because they already got their lake shore. So they didn't want to participate, which is fine, don't care. But just trying to make things better, that's the whole idea, is to take an opportunity we have here, and if I can get that cleaned out, give those 12 property owners a little bit better access to the lake, and maybe make a little better boat landing down there than what you got right now. And God forbid if you'd have another beach you could actually be at, rather than that crap when we got on, well, other than that crap we got on the other side.
I call it the postage stamp beach.
Yeah, because we do have people come down to the rain garden one, but again, there's no parking. And it's usually people that live in Second Elk Lake Estates,
Yeah.
which are the ones across from Highwayland, but it's still part of Elk Lake Estates.
Have you been in the water in front of there?
Yeah,
It's pretty nasty.
yeah, it's no nastier than it is in front of my place, but it's getting cleaner all the time.
Well, I mean, comparing it to like where people are hanging out in the water down at the southern landing, I mean, that's sand.
It's all sand there.
Well, it's not sand in front of me and I'm like right there.
No, but it's sand in front of me on the other side.
Well, on the other, yeah, sure, on the other side. But
And
I'm
then,
just saying,
in the
as
rain
far
garden
as-
one, it's all sand too.
Yeah.
Everything's there.
You can't just turn it into
Oh.
sand.
No, but this is what I was trying to explain is that I've been told that 4.5 feet down is when you'll hit hard sand. Because everything is hard sand.
All I'm saying is that area that you wanna make a beach.
Possibly.
Is 3 feet.
Might not be a beach.
Well, it is, Tony, you're looking at what it is now. I want you to dream bigger than what it is. I want you to look into the future.
You have to.
And you're looking at,
So that your grandkids
you're
can all
looking at
understand.
history that Trigger
Can we get back on topic?
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah, you guys might have to discuss that out here.
it's fine.
Just like last night, those people, so just.
So that was the whole idea, was to give you an update of what's going on. We appreciate all the support. And we're just, it's gonna be a long time. And we're not asking for any money or anything like that. But every time we do have an opportunity, if we have equipment out there or something, I was hoping that Zach was here because we had talked last time that maybe the public, utilities were gonna go down and cut some of the trees, the ones that we couldn't get at because we couldn't work quick enough to get the permission from you guys, or from the city council.
Yeah, he's gotta do some brush clearing over there.
Yeah, because that's what he talked about
By
last time.
Brian's Road there, he noticed when we go in the cul-de-sac, it's all, we actually, me, Al, and Zach just went out on a road tour. We drove by the area. We wanted to check out the curb and gutter.
Yeah, I understand.
So, yeah, that's where we're out there, but yeah, he's gotta get on it. He knows the
Okay,
area.
yeah, like I said, I haven't talked to him recently.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to give you guys an update, and I told them we were gonna be here too, so that way if there was anybody who had, and their concerns are valid, we just, it is, but we wanna make it better than what it is.
Okay.
And you've got that opportunity with the Parks and Recs Board and with the city council to take a dead piece of property and make it something that's nicer than what it is. So, any questions otherwise, or,
Oh, thank you for the update.
yeah,
Yeah, it's nice to get an update, but it just sounds like you have to just step by step, slow step.
well, and we had talked before that this was not a one-year deal, this was gonna be a 5-10-year project, just because we know that there's no money available. And, and the problem is some years you can work on it, some years you cannot, depending upon what it is. And we don't know what the DNR is, how difficult they're gonna be with the permitting process, but Mr. Bedell knows that I don't go away. I mean, 6 years to get the other permit, and I just keep reminding him. So, okay,
Well,
thank you for your time.
keep it up.
You guys, too.
Thank you. Okay. Young Park and Goose Lake parking lot updates.
Yeah, so with that, with Young Park and, the board did approve it to go get bids, for that, so, I did talk to Zach and he's gonna try to get that schedule. We've been, busy with, a lot of stuff, especially with all this rain, mowing the parks and the grounds here, so, he's gonna get on it, so he's gonna get a few quotes for that, because the board approved, the pictures that you've seen, the little cartoon drawings that were at the last park meeting. Mm-hmm. Yep, he approved that, so yeah.
Thank you, fellows. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you. So, yep, that's it.
Good luck.
So,
You're listening to us, Matt. Yeah.
yeah, that's all right. Guys, have a good weekend. Thank you. See you, Teresa. All right. No. Next one.
Sandy Lake Beach update.
Yeah, so we just got DNR approved on the 24th. So that's been sent to Water Restorations, and they're gonna get on and start scheduling that to clear up all those cattails there.
That'll be nice, because that is like teeny.
Yes. So that would be quite a bit of a big improvement there.
Does that go along with the stormwater project update?
Yeah, so this now, so the board approved the Sandy Lake project, and this is Soil Water Conservation's paying for the engineering, which is done by Bogart Peterson. and then they give like a 10% match to the overall project. We didn't have Lake Diane yet. I think we have it now because there is some drainage control erosion plan that was not in there. So Bogart Peterson added that in there. So we are actually, it was discussed at the last town board meeting, excuse me, city meeting. Al, where are you? To go ahead and we asked our engineer if they're gonna run with it to oversee the management, go out for the bid. They refer back to Bogart Peterson. So I called Franny, we got a call scheduled on July 1st, like a Teams or Zoom call with Bogart Peterson, our engineer, and myself. Al, if you wanna go to that meeting, is Zach. And we're gonna discuss the overall management, possibly, maybe,
That's on July 1st?
yes.
What
Don't
time?
know what time yet.
Oh, okay.
That's what Kayla's gonna find out with Franny from Soil Water Conservation. So we're thinking hopefully if we can get Lake Diane approved that if they have the cartoons, which I think they do now, we can go ahead and get that approved too, and then maybe go get a bid for both of them, maybe better scales economy versus just doing one each separate.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's the update there.
Did we skip over the parking lot?
No,
Thought we were up to the Sandy Lake Beach update already.
no, parking lots, the board approved.
Yeah, that was last month's meetings,
Yeah,
we went to that.
we approved it at city council meeting, so now Zach's gotta go out and get bids for what the electrical is gonna cost, those
Lights,
2 lights, and then get bids from, asphalt people, for what's gonna cost to do both of them, the expansion.
Is that approved for both parks,
Yes,
Young Park and?
so,
Is the notice gonna be in the local paper then for the bids, or is Zach just calling people, or?
well, we can go for the bids, depending, cause I know of 2 contractors that have done work for us, no issues. But yeah, we could, it's not gonna be, you just need 2 quotes.
I was gonna say, as a town, I know we need 2
Yeah.
quotes.
If it gets over like $175,000, then you gotta do sealed bids.
I would say then it's sealed.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for anything under that, you definitely wanna have
Have to
2
get
quotes.
quotes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
good.
Okay. Kermit Young plaque.
What did Barry decide?
Lester, that's you, Kermit Young plaque. What's going on here?
Black, I thought Barry would be here tonight.
Oh,
Driver, the guy that,
yep.
Yeah, he said it would take 6 to 9 months, didn't he, or?
So in
Downtime.
your packet should be an email from Barry.
Oh,
He
right here.
Just gave me a little update. They're still doing research at this time,
Threw
as
me off.
far as, background on Kermit and stuff like
Barry,
that.
Oh, yeah, they're still looking for pictures.
Here, I'm gonna give you this.
It should be in
wants-
your packet, Lester.
Yep.
well, I know what that black looked like because.
No, but he says right here, can you help the dates and roles Kermit Young?
Why
served
Jeff's
in
family don't have
Baldwin
pictures?
Township. Maybe Lester can provide some general information about Kermit dates and roles of service.
Oh, you want me to talk to Barry then?
Yeah, yep,
Okay, well, I know Wendy.
yeah,
Well, I used to work with him.
yep. And he said, Wendy Davis, I'll let you keep this one. should
So would
in
it
the packet,
be-
but you can keep this.
Okay.
Good to maybe put a bugs in Jeff's ears to get a hold of the historical. Wendy?
Actually, here tonight.
Yeah, well, something came up, rain and.
I didn't ask him to be.
He gets around.
I
Yep.
just went with his email, cause he needs more from us
He needs
before,
input.
He needs
He can
information from
provide-
you,
Oh, okay.
like
before
what
he can
Kermit.
like provide us with actual layouts of everything and pricing, so.
Well, you really wanna see what that plaque looks like, there's one up at, 169 alongside him there for Brickton.
Oh, up there?
I forgot, were we gonna ask Jeff, if his family had any photos of him, or were we gonna?
Yeah, I did mention to Jeff and he liked the idea, but, he didn't,
They weren't quite sure they had photos,
yeah, I think that's,
Are they kind of private?
or just,
no, I think, Mr. Walker should call him. Oh, they said, oh, Al, Dave.
okay.
That site where that sign is right across the street from,
Alongside?
the nursery there,
Okay,
going north. There was a big sign there long, many years ago that said Brickton. Now they got one just a little further. to the
yeah.
north.
You now can talk to Jeff about that.
Yeah, the city council, when I mentioned it to them, didn't have any issues with it. They were just asking, how big is it? You know, where you're gonna put it. Like I said, well, we're thinking about putting on the backstop there. You know, at the ball field there.
Yep.
So, yeah, they didn't have any issues with that. They thought that was a great idea.
In the sign, it says to be enjoyed by the citizens of Baldwin Township. So that, we were a township when it was donated, but now we're just Baldwin, so should it just say Baldwin?
It just says he served with the Baldwin Township.
Yeah, I think he was on there for 20 years, wasn't he?
He's looking at that.
Kermit,
Oh, the plaque.
The plaque we currently have out there, there's a picture of it in that.
Yeah, that page.
Oh, this one.
Last
That's
picture,
what we currently have at the
I
park.
didn't see that.
this one.
So at the time it was donated, we were a township.
Yeah.
Right.
what packet is that in? Oh,
Oh, it's right here. This is picture. So, yeah.
But this is the
Oh,
one on the
okay.
rock, right?
Yep. Yeah, so this, Lester, if you wanna talk to Barry and give him that information that he needs and.
Yeah,
Or you can send the information to me too, and I can.
I'd seen him on the
forward it
street. I wouldn't have known him.
yeah, it threw me off, that name Francis. I was looking for Barry.
He looked like Dave when I knew him.
All right.
Matter of fact, this picture used to be on the back here, but it's gone down.
Okay, FunFest update?
We have 24 vendors.
Wow.
Thanks to
24.
Kayla's hard work with me. We have food trucks this year with the support of the fire department is still gonna do their hamburgers and hot dogs for us. And they agreed to a truck that's gonna have cheese curds, onion rings, and french fries. We also have an ice cream truck and a frozen candy truck, and I'm trying to remember. There's another one.
So the ice cream is just a booth, I believe.
Yeah. Oh,
They're just
okay, I thought
gonna
it was
do
a truck.
booth to bring the ice cream. The cheese curds might actually also be a booth. She might just like pull her car up to the back.
Okay,
But we for sure have a truck that's, freeze-dried candy and sassy
Freeze-dried candy.
soda. Sassy soda, that's what it's called, sassy
Wow.
sodas.
and the sodas are all the rage right now, according to my great-granddaughters who are like, Grandma, we gotta start saving money. Oh, okay, kids.
Now we just have to have good weather.
Is there gonna be a food truck there that has like healthy stuff?
No, that doesn't go with summer fairs.
I do have
That'd
a
be naughty,
vendor
Rob.
that has sourdough bread.
Yeah.
I was thinking something like hamburgers.
Fire department.
Yeah, the fire trucks.
Fire,
do
the fire,
hamburgers.
fire,
Burgers.
yeah,
They grill
burgers and hot
burgers.
dogs. Yep. Fire department.
Yeah, you can get a pop, and a burger and
Burger and chips.
a bag of chips, I think for, it used to be $5.
It's the same.
Yeah.
They're raising it.
Oh, that's great. 24 vendors. Wow.
Lot of phone calls. We sent out, advance registration letters for the car show with the reduction in fees. We have car park, and we have 4 in already, which I think is pretty good considering car people usually are last minute people.
Yeah.
And then we also have trophies that are car parts this
Yes.
year and that we've brought and shown. I've had nothing but really good comments when I've showed pictures of those to the car people. And I got an email back today, Kayla. So on a Thursday is when they are very short-staffed at Eternity Church now. One of the ladies unfortunately passed away, and they've had all kinds of issues with help, which I understand when people are part-time, that can be hard. But I did get an email back today after I went over there yesterday, and nobody was there, and sent another email. And, she said Thursday's the best day, so I'm thinking maybe next Thursday, if you're.
It's the 3rd.
Oh, I don't wanna do that. Let's do the next week, the 10th. Okay, thanks.
The 10th?
I have to be gone. So that's where we're at. I'm still looking for volunteers. Hard to come by volunteers, however, I do have the name of, I think he's the football coach.
Ryan Fay?
Maybe he's assistant coach?
The head coach.
He's the head. This guy wasn't the head, but he brought everybody for,
It's Cowcats.
yes, thank you.
Oh,
He brought everybody for cleanup day.
yes.
He,
Zach graduated them.
he reached out to me and I got to call him back for help set up for the fair, for Fun Fest and takedown. So I will call him tomorrow.
That would be great.
So I'll call him tomorrow. I have an email into the Princeton ambassadors who helped us greatly last year, waiting to hear. And that's about all that's kind of on hold. The guy with the porta potty delivered it and came back and picked it up, and I was nowhere to find him. Yeah, it kind of ticked me off. He left the porta potty, and I guess he must have had Jim tell him where to put it, because,
That's Red's, right?
yeah. Just, it was right where I would have wanted it. I didn't.
Mary, I can give you a contact if you want for the Hockey Booster Club.
That would
If you
work.
want.
I would.
Because they are very,
Yep.
big into
I'll
it.
take any young man
Okay.
I can get.
You think the Catholic Church would have some youth, maybe? Since they're out in the country now?
They have a few, they have a small group of youth. It's kind of
Any confirmation kids have to do community hours?
Or who would be a good contact?
Matt Kerr would be the contact for Christ Our Life.
Yeah, I can give you his number.
Matt Care, CAR.
No,
Oh,
K,
no,
it's
it's
like
different.
KH.
I helped him with the walk.
It's a weird spelling. It's like KE.
Oh, it's like font, it don't sound like it's spelled.
Also, what I'll do is, would be best if I just email you that and you can send that to Mary
Yeah,
then?
you can do
Yeah.
that.
So I'll give you the booster gentleman I work with, very nice guy,
Good.
for hockey, and then Matt's. See, hopefully get more
Yep.
volunteers that way.
Yeah.
Yes,
I can't, my husband is not physically able to help right now, so.
Yeah, we just really need some volunteers that'll help us. We have a few canopies and stuff that Mary and I, and Zach and Tom are.
I got a
like,
canopy too.
donating. Great.
My can-
We're gonna need it.
My
So we'll
canopy
need
is
all
on
those.
wheels, so we just have to wheel it, unhook it, and pull it.
Mine was
And it goes
volunteered
out.
last year, so I'm doing it
Well,
again
we
this
know
year.
we need at least like, we're thinking 5
I got 4
donated
already.
canopies.
Yes.
I got mine.
Yours.
Mine's a pop-up.
Okay.
So.
We'll
and
be
need
good.
Tables and chairs set up, so if we can get the booster kids and we can just put them to work and get all that set up, that would be really helpful.
Do you want me to bring my chairs that hold larger people, like 350-pound people and up?
Are you talking like camping chairs?
No, these are very, they were at the party, they were blue.
Oh, I love those chairs, they were so comfortable.
Everybody loves them, and they hold up to 350
That's up
pounds.
to you.
have?
About 8.
I am gonna call Laura and ask her, Laura Anderson from the
Yeah.
fire department, unless you get there before me. Scott said we should ask her about, borrowing tables and chairs from the fire
I've
department. Because we
got,
only have like 5 to 8 tables and chairs back there.
Well, are they setting up their own thing, fire department, for the hamburgers? Are they gonna have an area?
No,
No, they just
For
usually
the
pull up
hamburgers
at
and hot dogs, they'll have their own
a little table.
little.
their own little table, but we have to have sitting area for them to eat at. I have all the tables from the party Saturday, and the benches, and the chairs.
Well, I was just gonna see how
But
many.
my chairs, I don't think are all that wonderful, but that's my opinion.
You need tables?
Yeah,
I got one like this.
a white one, fold up,
Yeah.
great, put it down, we need it.
Yeah.
Do they
All
need,
tables we can get.
do they need to be in the best of shape, or?
No,
I got-
our tablecloths.
I got two of them.
I've
They're in
got
my
white
pole
table,
barn.
We might have
I've
a
got
couple.
enough left over from the
Like
party, Kayla.
Yeah, we might have a
And the
couple of
clips.
tables
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I've got clips for 12 tables.
So,
The other thing I talked to Phil about today is garbage cans.
I got garbage cans.
Phil has at least 4 for us that we can use too.
I have those two big black ones that were at the party,
So we'll
so.
just spread
And
them.
I've got garbage bags for all of them, so I'll bring those too. I'll just add that to my list.
that morning of the deal, do you want us just, somebody to go to your house? And we got a pickup, we can throw a lot of stuff in there.
I gotta pick up too if I learn to drive it real quick. If I don't learn to drive it, I'll be calling you.
Call Alan
Yeah,
or something.
I could put it on my trailer, that stuff.
Well, Zach said we could also use the trailer.
Oh, yes, yes, we got
He
the
said we
trailer.
could clean it out and we could put whatever we
So I
needed in
told,
it.
I told Zach he would have to set it up. Father-in-law. I supervised.
Should probably plan for a windy day too.
We will.
So you spike
Let's
those
hope-
down, you put sandbags on the legs, or how do you do that?
Mine came with
Focus
little
on
bitty
hot like
sandbags
last
that are like
weekend.
this.
You just get bricks,
Well, and I have bricks too if I needed them, but I have sandbags.
landscaping bricks.
No.
Okay, and then the other thing, because this year, when I did my barbecue, thanks to a few people, it was a dry run. And one of the things that my husband and I want to do in the future is to thank everybody who has helped with Fun Fest or any other events that the town sponsors by doing a yearly barbecue at our house. But it's only gonna be for people who have really showed up and worked that day, because I can't feed people that don't work. And then the other thing that Kayla and I talked about is keeping the T-shirts from year to year, so that we have a base to start with. T-shirts aren't cheap anymore, and they're not gonna get cheaper, so we always have a variety of sizes for our volunteers. Now, I think you already have one.
Yep, I have one.
I have one. Al, do you still have yours? Just, you still have
Good
yours?
answer, Al.
It didn't really fit him.
Okay, so we need one for Mr. Al.
What was left was like, he almost did the Hulk deal, rip it out.
Yeah. Okay, so we need an,
It was an extra large, and he's a,
Oh, it looked like a tube top.
do we need a 2X or a 3X for you, Mr. Al?
What's that?
3X?
Yeah.
yeah, it was,
Yeah, I know how that, yeah, we won't go there.
So Mary, do you have enough funds, right?
Oh, we're under budget.
Okay.
Okay, and then the other thing people should know is, when I was talking to our mayor, I let him know about where our budget was and that we were gonna probably have some money left over. And we also have Quick Trip that I have to finish a grant to, that will help with our Easter egg hunt we wanna do next year.
Oh, nice.
And, the mayor said that the money left, we could transfer into the Easter egg hunt account. We have, how much left, Missy? Roughly?
I think we still have
So we spent only about half.
wow.
and that's counting T-shirts that we haven't ordered yet. It's counting the porta potty that we haven't paid for yet.
But that's already included
Those are
in the
already
fund.
In the forecasted expense, yeah.
Yeah.
We already. The other thing we have is the signs should be hopefully here this week. I dropped them off almost 2 weeks ago to get the signs updated. And they will be here in this corner, Hopefully, the church will let us put one on that corner on 169.
I've already got that in
And
my
then
email.
You should ask the mayor to get that sign going out there.
And then Mary talked to Brian Lawrence, and he's.
I didn't talk to Brian Lawrence, Mayor Swanson did for us.
Oh,
Oh,
Jay talked to Brian for us, and we'll be able to put one up.
okay.
That's
our
where
three-
all his signs are on
Yeah.
169, we
Yes.
can put one there.
Yep. Awesome.
So then the next question I have, I do not feel, based on when we did the Mike fundraiser for the fire chief, fireman that had
Oh, Mike Brenwall?
Brembaugh.
Yeah.
Granted, it was donated, so I probably should shut up and speak tongue in cheek, but we got put on the last page of the paper, and I was not happy. And I feel that with social media the way it is today that we've used, and Kayla's really good at this, and Kayla put it on, and we got 3 vendors right away. So that tells me it's being used. I don't feel we should spend $140 times 2 on ads in a paper that may be on the last page.
Okay.
I'm not a happy camper about that. But if people say to me, oh, Mary, you need to, okay, I'll do what the majority wants, but I just can't see supporting it.
Well, I mean, in the future, we're gonna have that sign out there, that big
Right.
sign here. So that will be one spot, and you can put it at Young Park as well.
Well, we only have 3 signs right now.
Oh, okay.
We didn't want to put one at Young this year because we didn't want it to confuse people.
Oh,
Yeah,
got
we
it.
thought it might be
Cause
confusing.
I know the fire department for their fireman's dance got one off, County Road 9 and 19. You know, on the road by the church. there.
T, yeah.
Up the T there, so.
Yep.
Yeah,
You have a
Maybe
Minute
we
Maid
could-
do?
If we want to order another sign, I could reach out to Reynolds and see if they have time to do another one and
See
see
what
what
it
the
costs,
cost
yeah.
is. If you want me to do that.
Yeah,
I can
let's
get
do
you
that and
another
see.
one.
I'd rather do that than spend $140 in the newspaper. I'd rather have something I can use from year to year.
I'll reach out to her.
Good thinking, Mary.
if you want, Mary, I'm just throwing this out, there's a local business off 169 there. Talk to, he's a good guy.
Ooh. One.
Jake's Tree Service.
Oh,
Is that the man that got hurt?
No,
Okay.
that's Hanson's.
yeah.
Oh, I went by it that day on 169. I went by it.
Yeah, it's right before 38 there.
Oh,
It's just,
gotcha.
it's just basically across the street from the church.
Yeah, I would say it's by the church.
Yeah, just right there. Maybe talk to him. I get his number.
Yeah, get his number. I'll call him.
Yeah, if he's,
I'll call anybody. I do.
She ain't afraid.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid. I'll call, and I need a new Fun Fest sheet to take up to Princeton Auto. Because they'll put it on their community board that's by the
I'll
office.
print you a few of them.
Yeah,
You can
thank
pick
you.
them up next week or
Yeah.
whenever you stop by.
I can't think of that dive bar I go to for shrimp down by San Diego.
Oh, Jack and something?
No, not
Oh.
Jack. The
That's
other
not a dive bar.
one. That's not a dive bar.
That's a
This one, they
restaurant.
play volleyball there.
Oh, and I don't know what it's called. It changes hands. San Diego.
Santiago?
Santiago.
It's a real rustic bar. In the back, you can bring your dog, and then they have volleyball too.
It changed hands. I don't remember the name of it either.
I don't know, the gal who's manager is very nice and told me I can put up any circulars and she'd be sure they stayed up and everything else. I can't think of the name of it.
On this way.
Yeah. Best shrimp basket you'll ever find.
We're looking, you can't find it.
It begins with, I want to say it's 2 names. It's right next to a gas station.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know,
Do you know Rob? No.
you don't go to dive bars, Rob?
So is that off of 7, Santiago?
Yeah.
Okay.
been to that Moonlight Bay, in fact, tonight is top of Thursday.
Moonlight Bay, where's that?
That's in Asante,
So
isn't
they're
it?
only a dollar.
Yeah, and then in Asante.
Yeah, so it's all piled with lettuce and
It's out
stuff.
in the boondocks, and my girlfriend
And
told me.
there's
if I
barely
came,
enough meat to
I
cover,
had to drive
cover the
to
bottom
Moose
of the shell.
childhood. I couldn't bring my car. Well, I ain't going anywhere, I can't drive that.
Can't complain.
I had to find out.
Well, thanks, Mary, appreciate.
So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Thanks to Kayla, we've really progressed this year. We're on Facebook, event page. Did I miss something? And I went and delivered flyers to every car for an hour and a half that came to cleanup days.
Yes, seen that, thank you.
Yeah, so.
Okay, well, I'll get you the 3 contacts and send it to you and you can,
The thing that doing that on that day proved to me, our people in this town want something they can put on their refrigerators and look at it continually with the events for the summer. They were glad to get them.
I
Yeah.
tape mine on the wall.
What?
I tape mine on the wall, the refrigerator.
Well, but what I'm saying is, I think, and I don't know what they cost.
we did send out the newsletter, like, I think it was quarterly. We mailed it,
Yeah.
but the board voted 3-2 not to, you have to sign up to get the newsletter.
Well, one of the things that I want to work on after this, and Kayla and I both kind of have the same thoughts, is working with some of the realtors to do a new neighbor package for the Baldwin residents. And as part of that, also work on trying to get neighborhood captains that we could hand deliver 10, 15 flyers with. These are the dates coming up of events. Put it on your fridge.
Yeah,
And I think if we could do that and get some engagement that way, I think that would be a cheap way for us to do it. Because printing them wasn't that expensive, was it, Kayla? Yeah.
I made them myself, so all I did was print them off here, so whatever our paper cost for colored papers was how much it cost.
Which I think is probably cheaper than going to the printer press.
yeah,
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
Minuteman or something like that, yeah.
Minuteman's not cheap. So that's kind of where I'm at, is working on that next.
Okay,
If anybody wants to help, come on board.
all right, well, thank you very much.
Okay, park updates, Tom?
Yeah, well, I covered most of them. The guy, the Public Works put the docks in. Now they're gonna focus on putting the buoys out at, the beach area there, Sandy Lake. And the porta potties, we have 2 of them at Young Park. The reason why, the handicap one was bigger than they thought, and the holding tank wasn't as large, so it's small. So yeah, so you got a lot of room in there in that one. So we put that, and then we're also got donated some from Satellite there, some hand sanitizers. They already put it out there, and somebody took the screws off the porta potty, threw it in the toilet.
They literally put it out there yesterday
Yep.
morning.
See, that's why if you had permanent bathrooms, I think there'd be more vandalism.
It's
So it's, yeah, and they got two there, and then the other one's at Sandy. So Elk Lake, we did not put one there, as you heard these guys earlier, that there's not many people that go there, so I'm kind of glad,
Well, there are, but they're at the landing.
yeah. So, unfortunately, that's what happened. What else is there?
Do we have that sign up? I know we were talking about just putting cameras out there, but do we put a sign that said you are being,
Yes,
okay,
yeah. And then,
by the porta potties?
yeah, I don't know.
They're on a pole, a light pole, I believe. Isn't it, Alan, the light pole, the signs,
I
cameras?
think we need a sign there if we don't have one.
Yeah, I have to check. And then there's this little other things is that, I talked to the PYSBA today. They shut sprinklers off at the pump shed we had. So it's happened that sometimes they shut the well off, so I told them, you know, very nice about it, apologize, that we can't have that. Being
Shut it off?
one of the coaches.
Was he doing that because of all the recent rain, thinking,
No, I just think, I don't know why, maybe it came, Zach, I don't think Zach has it programmed, during the time they practice, but somebody shut it off. And I had to tell him, and then Zach and Phil built a contraction, so when they shoved that big pitching mound in there, we blocked the pump so it doesn't crack the wellhead.
oh, okay, good.
So we did that, and I just told them, guys, hey, they wanted access to the gate to open the field, to go drag, because there's more dragging this year than normal. And I said, sorry, we will not allow that, because we did one time several years ago, and kids found out, hey, the gate's open, drove their car, did donuts
We
on the.
have donuts in there.
Yep, so I said the only access you guys can have is to that small shed. And then we change that code every year. On the lock there, because, you know, there's turnover there. So anyways, that, and then, that's about it. We covered pretty much everything, the restrooms, and the parking lots. Other than that, oh, and the guys did rent out a skid steer and put that extra mulch, playground mulch that was donated by Safety First. So they got a lot of that taken care of
Who
up there.
wanted to open the gate there for that?
The coaches. So I gave them, what I did was I gave them the Zach and Phil's cell number
What they want the gate open for?
to drag the field,
Ah,
the infield, to drag it, to make it look all pretty for games and stuff. And so they got Zach and Phil's numbers, and then I talked to Zach and I gave him the hours, you know, hey, 8 to 4, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10 Fridays. If you guys want to drag the field, if it's like on a Monday, and you say, hey, I would like to drag the field Wednesday, give them heads up, they can, you know, meet you out there, don't lock it, so.
Do they have access to a rake?
It's in the small shed, but they like to go out, they want their ATV and use the drag to do it. Yeah, so that's why. So anyways, that's all I got. Anybody got anything for me or the city council, or?
I had some about the location of the fun fest. So when we had it at Young Park, you know, start parking on 38th there.
Yep.
Those guys are going 55 miles an hour. Now we got guys.
55, the guys,
Well,
they had one guy went back there over 100.
Tom goes at least 60. 30, I know that. He's pulled away from it.
Well, I know it's you in my rear view mirror, so that's why I know it.
If he pulled away from you doing 60, you need to speed up.
So anyway, now we're gonna have it at this church. If people are gonna try to get on this highway, and people are going 70 on the highway. It's hard sometimes to see the people coming down the road, going south on 169. That's what I'm worried about.
I don't get it.
Nobody's gonna leave the church going this way.
Oh, there are.
People are gonna go that way on 169, especially if they're.
Oh, you mean the day of Fun Fest?
Yeah, context.
Well, I know the officers, there's gonna be some officers, because they're gonna close the road for the firemen's dance.
Yeah.
We're gonna close this road?
But I don't know what time they're closing it.
I don't know
I
either,
can't find that out. I've tried.
so,
So it's gonna be closed for Fun Fest then?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. What time are they closing it for the firemen's dance, and can we piggyback on it?
I mean, you can,
We probably,
I mean, if you want, you can email Sergeant Wilson,
The same night?
and maybe he knows.
Yeah,
We're during the day and they're at night.
What time they start?
The dance, 8
8
p.m.
o'clock.
We'll be done by
7,
5.
they got their tickets too, you can get them online.
it's all posted right out here under fire
Barcode.
department.
My wife got them last week.
oh, you got
I think there's,
Ask them all, tell friends. I have a few friends spending the night at my house.
Tickets. Did they have tickets last year?
no,
No,
they didn't even have a dance.
no,
This
just
is a
dance.
first year for a dance of this magnitude.
Yeah.
Because they're hoping for 1,000 people.
I think they'll sell tickets at the.
Yeah, it's a little bit more though at the day of the event. You can get them cheap, a little bit discounted.
Get $5 off
Yeah,
now.
thank
They
you.
won't be selling them at Fun Fest because they're electronic tickets. They don't
Yeah.
have physical tickets.
Yeah.
You have to go online to buy
I
them.
think it's event
Because I
party.
asked Lance, who's on the committee,
Yeah.
if that's what if they would like to do that, and they don't have physical tickets, it's only.
Other tickets.
$15 in advance, 20 at the door.
I think it's 17 right now.
Oh, is it
I think
17?
it's $17 a ticket right now, and then it goes up to 23.
Yeah, I know it goes up quite a bit. Because they were talking 15, 17, and 23.
Are they serving beer?
Yes,
Yeah.
they have a
And-
beer
and-
truck.
And the band is Rock Gods, all 80s. After meeting, I gotta show you guys something.
I should go. I don't remember the 80s.
What, were you stoned all the time? No, I was just.
So,
Thought I'd throw that in there.
other business.
Second alternate committee member.
This one, I think, we're talking about,
Thought we had to.
So the bylaws were approved,
yep, by the city council.
so we can have 2 alternate members.
I
What
thought
happened to
that-
that other girl?
Yep, we have her.
She's just can't make the meetings.
She's been up and down. She did email me and said she couldn't make it tonight, but she would come next week. Sorry, next month. 'Cause
Or do
I
we
emailed
table-
the schedule.
Do we table it till next month and see
Well,
if
we don't
she's-
have to really do anything, I don't think, with it, because,
she doesn't show, then we still have the
I guess it's-
opportunity to find a second.
yeah, I
Correct.
guess it's just an update for you guys to be aware that.
Yeah, we did approve the regulations. I apologize, I should update on the city council updates. We did approve the bylaws and the park regulations that we went through.
Okay.
Okay.
Letter B I already talked about.
Park tours.
Just want to meet here, July 17th was the date I won't say the time. We all
Thank
know,
you.
we all know in our head, so. Can this
But
meet
you
here?
for sure wanna have it on the next meeting in July,
I thought we were doing it in
or do you want?
September after Fun Fest,
Okay.
because that's the meeting.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
That's the meeting before Fun
Okay,
Fest,
that's, yeah.
guys.
Oh, okay.
Well, we could move it, you could try to do August.
Yeah, August would be after Fun Fest.
Yeah, do it in August.
When's,
Meeting is
Probably drier in August.
the 21st.
So Fun Fest will be after Fun Fest.
Fun Fest is the 16th.
August 21st then? Okay,
Unless you want, and then the next one after that is September 18th.
No, let's do August 21st,
Okay.
only because I think it still may be dry.
yeah.
I hope.
Parks are we gonna hit?
I think we can go to, show you Lake Helene, Lake Diane. And you guys, well, I'm gonna ask you guys, cause I know where everything is.
I don't.
I don't.
But what, Al went on the road tour and knows where Lake Diane is now. The park that we own.
Is that the one with the steps?
No, this is all poison ivy quite a bit there.
Ooh, I
Oh,
can't.
yeah, that's one, yeah.
So, I mean, you guys know Young Park, so we don't need to
Yep.
look at Young
Yep.
Park. You know where Goose Lake Park is, correct?
Yeah.
Most, everybody? Goose on County Road 87,
Yep.
on the corner there?
Well, maybe we do that one if we get the parking stuff situated before then.
Yeah, I was
It would be done
thinking,
in 2 months, but.
I was thinking Lake Diane, Lake Helene. Well, Lake Helene's down there, so we can swing by Goose Lake Park. It's right there.
Right there.
We can also maybe just do a quick drive-by by Elk Lake, and if the ones that didn't get to see it before,
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't get to see the,
yeah, the dredging and the
Yeah,
park.
where-
to know what he's
Yeah.
talking about.
And you guys have been to Sandy Lake, right? The beach? The park, so you know that one?
Postage
So,
stamp.
exactly.
My
I'm
kids,
sorry, but me and the dog would take it all off.
I brought my kids down there, Mary, and they loved it.
So did my
And I
husband.
met all the neighbors.
I'm sure you did. Because the neighbors think it's their beach.
So, okay, so we can do those 4.
Lake Diane, Lake Helene, Goose Lake, and Elk Lake.
Yes.
Wonder if we get old Zach to bring his helicopter thing, whatever they call it.
Drone.
Drone?
Yeah.
Drone, I thought we were gonna do this on Beacon.
If you're gonna get that from Zach, you should tell him early, because he.
Take it off in Beacon and put it up on the,
Yeah, he broke it.
Yeah, he broke it.
I thought that's what we was gonna do.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
whatever happened with the city getting one?
We're not getting
They didn't want one. Nothing to do with it.
Yeah, fire department didn't want one. They just worried about the usage. I guess we'll use one time to sit on the shelf.
They got a ladder truck.
You use it a lot more than that ladder truck.
You won't convince some of them.
Well, we sure like that big thing with the backhoe.
Yeah.
The other day when that pole building burned down.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I will. I make a motion to adjourn the June 26th, 2025 meeting of the
8:25.
Baldwin.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
8:25.